state corporations and agencies, representatives of our development partners and diplomatic corps, honored guests, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. This state ceremony is convened to foster the realization of the ethos espoused in Article 10 of the Constitution on our national values and principles of governance, and in keeping with the administration's pledge to lead an open, transparent, and accountable government. In affirmation of our shared commitment to upholding those national values and principles of governance, the signing of ministerial performance contracts for the financial year 2023-2024 is today witnessed by the leadership of the other two arms of government. Your Excellency, sir, in a historic undertaking, each ministry's performance contract will be witnessed by the primary committee of the National Assembly. This new practice demonstrates the administration's resolve to the people of Kenya for the use of their taxes and resources, and creating new traditions and precedents that deepen good governance practices in public affairs. Sir, the performance contract that ministries will sign today collectively embody the commitment the administration has made to the people of Kenya as set out in the bottom-up economic. As a prerequisite to this ceremony, the performance contracts are aligned with the resources as appropriated in the financial year 2023-2024 budget to each ministry. Therefore, seek Your Excellency's permission to call upon the ministries to sign their respective performance contracts, and thereafter for Your Excellencies to witness the commitments made by the ministries as part of the social contract we have made with the people of Kenya. With Your Excellency's kind indulgence, permit me now to invite His Excellency Honorable Musalia Mudavadi, the Prime Cabinet Secretary, accompanied by the Principal Secretaries in his office, to sign the performance contracts. The portfolio's performance contract will be witnessed by the Leader of Majority. Welcome, by the Prime Cabinet Secretary and the PSS. Next in line, Your Excellency, is State Law Office, Honorable Attorney General John Justin B. Muturi, to be witnessed thereof by Shadrach Mose, and in the presence of Honorable John Kitonga Murugara. We are arrived. Your Excellency, next in line is Honorable Aden Duale, Cabinet Secretary, Minister of Defense, in witness whereof by Honorable Patrick Mariru, and if the General is there to come. Your Excellency, the next is Professor Juguna Ndungu, Cabinet Secretary, Judge of National Treasury, Economic Planning, accompanied by Dr. Chris Kipton, Mr. James B. Muhati, and Honorable Francis Kuria Kimani. Your Excellency, next in line is Honorable Aisha Jumwa, Katana, Ministry of Public Service, Gender and Affirmative Action, witnessed by Amos N. Katesia and Ms. Veronica Nduva, and in the presence of Honorable Eric Mushangi Karemba. Next is Dr. Honorable Alfred N. Mutua, Cabinet Secretary, Minister of Foreign Affairs, Minister of Foreign and Diaspora Affairs, accompanied by Dr. Singoe Roslyn Jogu, in the presence of Nelson Koech. Excellency, next is Honorable Alice Wahome, CS, Minister of Water, Sanitation and Irrigation, to be accompanied by Dr. Paul Rono and Efantas in the presence of Honorable David Kangogo Powen. Excellency, next in line is Honorable Simon K. Chelugui, Cabinet Secretary, Minister of Cooperatives, Micro, Small, Medium Enterprises Development, accompanied by Patrick Kaikilemi, Susan Mangeni, in the presence of Honorable James Mwangi Kakuya. Next in line, Your Excellency, is Honorable Soipan Tuya, Cabinet Secretary, Ministry of Environment, Climate Change and Forestry, accompanied by Festus Ngeno and Kitonga Mugambi, in the presence of Honorable David Kikaria, Vice President. Next, Your Excellency, is Susan Nakumicha Wafula, Cabinet Secretary, Ministry of Health, to be accompanied by Harry Kimutai and Mary Mudhoni Muriuki, in the presence of Honorable Dr. Robert Pukose. Please around. Next in line, Your Excellency, is Honorable Ezekiel Mashogu, Cabinet Secretary, Minister of Education, accompanied by Dr. Belio Kipsang, Dr. Esther Moria, and Dr. Beatrice Inyangala Muganda, in the presence of Honorable Julius Meli. Next in line, Your Excellency, is Honorable Rebecca Miano, accompanied by Abdi Dubat Fido, Idris Salim Dakota, in the presence of Peter Lochakabong. Next in line, Your Excellency, is Honorable Mithika Linturi, Cabinet Secretary, Minister of Agriculture and Livestock Development, to be accompanied by Philip K.R. Sama, Honorable Jonathan Mweke, in the presence of Honorable John Kanyuitia Next in line, Your Excellency, is Honorable Kipchumba Murkomen, Cabinet Secretary, Minister of Roads and Transport, to be accompanied by Engineer Joseph Mbugwa, Mr. Mohamed Dakar, in the presence of Honorable George Masharia Kariuki. Next in line, Your Excellency, is Mr. Eliud Owalo, Ministry of Information, Communications and the Digital Economy, to be accompanied by Professor Edward Kisiangani, Engineer Tonui, in the presence of Honorable John Kiarie Waweru. Next in line, Your Excellency, is Honorable Florence Kaibore, Cabinet Secretary, Minister of Labor and Social Protection, to be accompanied by Mr. Geoffrey Kaituko and Mogosi Motari, in the presence of Honorable Alice Wambui Nganga. Next, Your Excellency, is Honorable Ababu Namwamba, Cabinet Secretary, Minister of Youth Affairs, the Arts and Sports. Be accompanied by Ismail Maalim Madei, Engineer Peter Tum, in the presence of Honorable Daniel Wanyama Sitati. So next in line, Your Excellency, is Mr. Sakaria Mwangi Njeru, Cabinet Secretary, Ministry of Lands, Public Works, Housing and Urban Development, to be accompanied by him, Honorable Generali Korir Nixon, Mr. Charles Hinga Mwaura, Mr. Joel, in the presence of Honorable Joash Nyamache Nyamoko. Next in line, Your Excellency, is Honorable Penina Malonza, Cabinet Secretary, Minister of Tourism, Wildlife and Heritage, to be accompanied by John Lekakeny Ololtua, Ms. Musaiya Sylvia Kehoro, and Ms. Umi Mohamed Bashir, in the presence of Honorable Javed Kareke Mbuki. Your Excellency, next in line is Honorable Davis Kaichirchir, Cabinet Secretary, Minister of Energy and Petroleum, to be accompanied by Mr. Alex K. Washira and Mohammed Liban, in the presence of Honorable Vincent Mushoka Musau. Your Excellency, last but not least, is Honorable Sir Cabinet Secretary, Minister of Mining, Blue Economy and Maritime Affairs, accompanied by PS Jafe Mwangi, Ms. Betsy Jagi, and Mr. Shadrach Madini, in the presence of Honorable David Gikaria and Honorable David Transhobo Owen. Your Excellency, that marks the end of our part one of this ceremony. I would request Your Excellency to retreat your seat for part two to begin. You can have your seat. Your Excellency, sir, as part of the organization of government, you assign the monumental task of steering the coordination of the institutional framework to support in the delivery of your agenda for the country to the Prime Cabinet Secretary. It is now my distinct honor to invite the Prime Cabinet Secretary to make his remarks and thereafter progress the day's program. Welcome, Your Excellency.
Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Kenya, Dr. William Samoei Ruto, Your Excellency, the Deputy President, before I make some short remarks, let me take this moment, with your permission, to invite the UN Resident Coordinator as we cooperate on matters of development in the country. Dr. Steve Jackson.
Mheshimiwa Rais wa Jamhuri ya Kenya, Mheshimiwa Naibu Rais, Mheshimiwa Waziri Mkuu, mawaziri, mabalozi, viongozi, waheshimiwa, marafiki, hamjambo. Kama methali ya Kiswahili inavyosema, atendaye njema atalipwa zizo, which I'm going to twist a little to mean that good performance will be recognized. Permit me, Mheshimiwa, just to make 5 brief points on behalf of the United Nations and the development partners. The first is to say that anywhere in the world, a highly performant public service is essential to guarantee the effective provision of basic services to the people and a propitious climate for sustainable development. And in Kenya, one of the foundations of your Vision 2030 is an efficient, motivated, and professional public service. And indeed, the Constitution, your Constitution, states that a public service that is efficient, performance or results-oriented, and citizen-focused must be ensured. So, second point, Mheshimiwa, the step your government has taken today is greatly more than symbolic. Today, your government is signing a solemn promise with you, Mr. President, and through you, a promise with Kenya's people, because it is Kenya's people, of course, that its government and its officials serve. The Kenyan people need and deserve a truly 21st century government and public service, laser-focused on delivery, on that famous deliverology that we all talk about, and free from any blemish of bad governance. And that's why supporting public service reform has been and continues to be central to the support of a large number of Kenya's development partners, including the very many partner members of the governance group. So, Mheshimiwa, third point. For United Nations Kenya, we've been supporting public sector reform since 2006 in multiple ways, led by the United Nations Development Programme, but joining together the efforts of very many other UN entities. We've collectively continued to partner and collaborate with key institutions, such as the Ministry of Public Service and the Kenya School of Government. And some highlights of that work have included, indeed, helping to institutionalize performance contracting across the ministries, the departments, and the agencies, and supporting the transformation of the former Kenya Institute of Administration into the Kenya School of Government, and supporting it with South-South and international cooperation. And I know I speak on behalf of all the development partners, Mheshimiwa, when I say that we look forward to continuing this journey with you. fourth point, penultimate point. Of course, in line with Kenya's devolution journey, effective public sector delivery also has to be ensured below the national level, at the devolved, empowered county level. And since 2017, UN Kenya and many development partners, including particularly Sweden, Finland, and Italy, working directly with the UN, have collectively supported the Ministry of Public Service and the Council of Governors to help develop the county performance management framework. That was adopted by the COG in 2018, county governments then adopted in 2019, and today most county governments also have a full performance contract cycle. As I close, Mheshimiwa Rais, my last point is about us, the development partners. A word on the efficiency, effectiveness, and performance of your development partners. We also owe you a performance contract. Along with my brother, the ambassador of the Netherlands, as United Nations Resident Coordinator, I've recently had the honor to become the co-chair of the Kenya Development Partners Group. And ensuring the efficiency and the effectiveness and the performance of the support that the development partners provide is something that is very dear to our hearts. Excellency, prior to your election, you and I spoke of the importance that you attach to a proper and regular structure of dialogue with the development partners. And getting that structure of dialogue with the partners up and running is something that will really ensure that performance contract between us and you. So we're performing in the way that the government and the people need us to. So we're looking forward very much to building and operating that new structure of development partner dialogue with you and with your government as a matter of priority. So Mheshimiwa, hongera kwa hatua hiyo muhimu iliyopigwa leo. Na asanteni sana. Excuse me, sir.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Steve Jackson. Your Excellency, we also have a brief remark from the Chairperson of the Council of Governors, Honorable Anne Waiguru, but I believe she has a representative, if she has not arrived yet. Governor Lusaka, on behalf of the governors.
Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Kenya, Your Excellency, the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya, Honorable Cabinet Ministers, PSs, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the Chair, who should be around, quite a number who are caught at the gate, Your Excellency, because of traffic, but power abhors a vacuum, and I know they are somewhere, they are held. So on behalf of the Council, Your Excellency, I want just to thank you and congratulate you for this very momentous moment for us. What is measured gets done. And having served as a permanent secretary before, I know what performance contracting means. This is an agreement on what is going to be delivered by the ministries. And during our period, Your Excellency, we never had it colorful the way it is today. I'm sure this is a milestone, and as a council, we are also going to support. We're also doing the same in the counties. We're also signing performance contracting with our own teams for us to be able to perform. So on behalf of the council, I just want to say thank you and wish all those who have signed their performance contracts, please let it not just end at the signing, but implement what you have signed. May God bless you. Thank you.
Your Excellency, let me note that apart from Steve Jackson, we have, I think, one or two other members of the diplomatic corps. If they are here, they can just rise where they are. Members of the diplomatic corps who had joined us for this particular session. Your Excellency, apart from those who have executed the contracts today, we also have members of independent commissions if they can also rise where they are. Thank you. We acknowledge you. Asante sana. Your Excellency, you also have the chairs of various boards and their CEOs. If you can rise where you are. Wow. Asanteni sana, tafadhali. We also have the chairs of the councils of the universities and the VCs. If they are present, they can also rise. Asanteni sana. We also have the various legislators who came in, heads of committees. If they are present, again, you can rise, the ones who made it. Thank you for representing the Parliament. I believe I have covered a cross-section of those who are in attendance. Your Excellency, without going through all the protocols, let me just very quickly make some few remarks and then invite the Deputy President to invite you. But of course, one of the things I've learned from Lusaka is that I think one of the things we need to learn in our performance contract is to beat the traffic. Now that our President is spot on time, then we just have to learn to navigate the traffic. Your Excellency, it is my singular pleasure to thank you for accepting to preside over this auspicious occasion for the signing of the ministerial performance contracts for the financial year 2023-2024. Your Excellency, Kenya's overall development agenda, as espoused in the Vision 2030, is dependent on a public service that is citizen-focused, results-oriented, efficient, motivated, and foremost corruption-free. Consequently, the government has adopted strategic initiatives based on the aspirations of the bottom-up economic transformation agenda, better derived from the Kenya Kwanza manifesto. The aim is to capitalize on the gains already made from implementation of public sector reforms to spur socio-economic development. Performance contracting is one of the fundamental performance management tools being implemented in the public service. This prized tool has been implemented continuously for the last 19 years, and its full entrenchment will ensure the realization of our country's long-term economic development goals. Your Excellency, the first-level performance contracts are signed annually between yourself and the respective cabinet secretaries, and thereafter cascaded to downstream institutions. These contracts provide linkages between planning, budgeting, and clear deliverables. It is worth noting that the performance contracts being signed today are the first under your administration. There is excitement that your administration has aligned budgets to specific programs and projects under the medium-term plan 4, which is better sector priorities. This ensures synergy between budgetary resources and specific targeted deliveries. The introduction of performance contracts in the public service gives credence to the urge, which has been referred to, what gets measured gets done. Adoption of performance contracts by ministries, departments, and agencies establishes uniformity, consistency, and objectivity in measuring public service performance. Sustained implementation